And here we are with What's Upper Pinellas.
Hey there.
We are in episode 19, almost at 20.
Oh, what are we going to do for 20? We're going to have a party here.
Maybe have horns and hats and confetti and stuff. Yeah, the 10,000s. How do you say that? 10,000s.
What? Yeah,
10,000. Have problem with that.
Yeah, we're not going to make it to 10,000.
We're not going to make it
to like this, but yeah.
Anyway,
wow.
I'm here with my good friend and co-host Marianne Davis. Hey, Marianne.
Hi.
How are you?
It's good. I'm good today. How are you doing today?
Good.
It is an unbelievable day here. For those of you that are not in the lovely Florida area, we've had the best weather. It's been
long sleeves on today.
It's been fantastic.
Yeah, we got shorts on, but still threw long sleeves on.
And a hoodie, right?
Yeah. So how's your real estate day going today?
Well, my day, I've had a day actually.
Yeah.
I have an out of town buyer that is my FaceTime's not. I mean, my Facebook's not coming up, so I can't.
I got it.
You got us. Okay.
Yep.
So, I had an out of town buyer. He's only here for a few days, and this is my favorite type of viewing. We saw 15 properties today.
Wow.
Yeah.
You could have got me caught up on my 90 houses.
I should. I mean, I love that. I love it when we can, see them and knock them out. Luckily, there was quite a few of them were in similar communities, so there wasn't a lot of driving in between. It was great. I love that. I love to see all the different properties, and we've got 2 more days. We've got 2 more days to do it. We've got probably about 10 to 12 properties for the next 2 days each.
Nice.
Yeah.
Any keepers in today's batch?
There were a couple that were definitely in the running. They're definitely in the running.
Good.
But we're finding, pricing is such a it is a challenge these days, and because the market is changing, and so pricing is just so important. And unfortunately, I think sellers need to get a little bit re-educated on proper pricing. So is that a nice way of saying it?
Yeah, I talked to a lady today, and she said, well, my house was worth this 2 years ago. And I had to bite my tongue. It isn't 2 years ago. We're not still in COVID. We're not in COVID.
We're not. And it's not that I think that people have lost value. I don't think that we're losing value. I think we just haven't seen the increase. And buyers definitely want either a good bargain or a house that is just impeccable.
Yeah. HGTV.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And sellers' expectations sometimes aren't realistic, and I had to explain to them. I said, well, where are you listing it on that? Because I'm going to set that, at that price, because anything on top of that is gravy. If you get more than that, great. But if you start where you are and end up down there where your professional told you that you should list it, then we have realistic numbers that we know we can move forward with,
Right.
Whereas, during COVID, you go, all right, good luck.
We still have multiple offer situations. We had a home this weekend went under contract this past weekend with multiple offers, first weekend on the market because
price rate. And it looks great.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. That's
awesome. So I had investor meeting today.
Yes, tell me. I love the investor stories, please.
And from a professional networking group, I got referred somebody that wanted to go to the meeting. So I met them at the meeting, and commercial real estate agent, and she's very, very nice, and come from a great referral source, and just wanted to, heard something about it and was curious. And she got up and her eyes were big, she's like, this is amazing. Because of all the different stuff that goes on in this meeting. And And then I got up from the meeting and just had a line of people waiting to talk to me about different things that I've come across just in the week since the last meeting. And so I was working with a gentleman that wanted to buy one of these houses to.
There's no one in your contacts named so. Who's contact?
How did that happen?
The computer challenged one in the crew.
That's so funny. Okay.
So I bought a premium lot, built the house from scratch, and thought I knew what values were, and then I realized it was 20 years ago that I bought my house. So when these 3 hurricanes hit, and the values of what this waterfront property is worth, I was kind of caught with my pants down on what types of programs and what dollar amounts we're going to need to do. So I was working with a guy that was buying a $950,000 lot with a knockdown house on it, and was finding things that at lower loan amounts I could get high LTV, at upper loan amounts the low LTV dropped, and so that there was kind of a gap there. And so I've continued to research and try to find loans that would handle that. And so I've come across some things that have, I think, kind of interesting. Most lot loans are 1 year, 2 year lot loans because they want you to build on it. They want to get their, because there's no income on a lot.
Right.
So
right.
very high risk for banks. So most of them do 1 year, 2 year. Well, I found a 10-year lot loan with up to a $500,000 loan amount. So with 20% down, 20% down, you can get $625,000 lot, and agreeable terms, and interesting situation. So all kinds of questions going on.
Wow.
They had to go like, hey, see him afterwards. And then I also found a home equity line of credit that you can put in first position or second position, that you can basically budget into the HELOC renovation costs. So you're buying the house at this price, and then you need that much for rental, renovations. So you get a home equity line of credit either for purchase or in the second position, first or second position HELOC, that will allow you to do renovations, which is huge for this market with the hurricanes and stuff that we've come through. So
okay, so talk about that a little bit more. Explain what that looks like, please, to me.
So the particulars are still being kind of sorted out, but in the state of Florida, Georgia, Louisiana, and Alabama, I can do these 2 loans, and potentially other states, but for right now, I know those 4 states I can do. But what they're doing is they're taking the as-is value and your approval, your budget for your renovations, add those together, and then giving you a percentage towards that. They'll do a certain percentage up to that amount of the purchase and or the total renovations. And so where say FHA 203K or conventional home path renovation mortgages take 4, 6, 8 weeks to get closed because of a bunch of the back
right.
and forth, home equity line of credit is kind of shortening that period of time and getting you in quicker, and they're handing you all the funds at one time, so you don't have to deal with draws and inspections and back and forth waiting and being stopped by waiting for the next draw 3, 5, 7 days or whatever it takes an appraiser, a bank, and
right.
To issue money. So that's the high level
right.
on it, and I'll be working through the details of it this week so that I'll be ready for the investor meeting, because out of those meetings present an idea, and then you get from 360 degrees, you get 360 different questions, and all of them have a different reason or a different purpose behind them.
So if I could just ask a couple of questions.
Yep.
And I've seen 15 properties today. So
yep.
these If I stutter a little when
fry.
I ask when I ask the question.
She's a house fry. She's a tater tot today. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so I have a property, and I've got some equity in it. However, it was damaged during the recent floods or whatever, and I don't want to necessarily. I have a great rate
On your first mortgage.
On my first mortgage. I have a great rate, so I don't necessarily want to get like you said, the FHA renovation loans or something like that, because then I would have to refinance the whole thing.
Right.
So, but instead I can get one of these HELOCs for the renovation. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what's different about that is people go, I can get a HELOC anywhere. I can get a HELOC anywhere. Most banks will not lend on a property that is not, does not have a certificate of occupancy, and these houses that were flooded.
Right.
They took your certificate of occupancy when you pulled out the kitchen and the bathroom and the drywall and all the flooring.
Right.
And banks won't lend on those. So it is a unique product. And
that's a good one. To know about for sure.
So yeah, so it's interesting things, and then just a flow of questions based on what's going on in the marketplace as far as values and that kind of stuff. And
I have to say too, though, you started out this portion talking about how there was that lot, and you kind of weren't, you were kind of caught off guard because it wasn't something you were familiar with at that time. And I just want to, give you a shout out for doing that work to find out. I mean, that's the thing, Brian. You're always out there looking for more solutions. You look outside the box, and you always come through in the clutch. I know.
Well, thank you.
Nobody wants to be the fixer, but you are, and it's appreciated. Greatly appreciated.
Yeah, it's from my experience when I built my own house, a premium lot, backed up to the preserve, no neighbors, never can build back there, was like a $25,000 upcharge. So you go, you buy, this house, and it was only $25,000. And so when someone comes at you and goes, oh yeah, I want to buy a vacant lot for $950,000, it was kind of like, whoa.
Right.
I know about land is valuable, but I never, I thought it was in the house, not the land.
Right.
But that person will end up putting another $1.5 million on it, and it'll be a $2.5 million property cost, and that'll be a $3.3 to $3.5 million property by the time he's done 18 months from now. So it's just I appreciate the kudos and that, but yeah, it's I get up in the morning, and jump out of bed to solve people's problems. I really do. That's what keeps me getting up every day and doing this is helping people, overcome their questions and their problems to do whatever they want to do in the real estate market.
Right. And I thank you, because I know I was a little befuddled this week when somebody ran all this, they were trying to come up with some innovative solutions to their problem.
Yeah.
Didn't help my seller very much, but and Brian was definitely very helpful in talking me through that.
Yeah, and it's a team effort, because just because a borrower comes at you at this direction doesn't mean that's the direction the seller wants to go.
Right.
Or as the listing agent and confidant of the seller, that you're going to go, oh yeah, well that's what they want to do. You should do that, just to get a paycheck,
Right.
And so the collaboration that, we have is just throw it out on the table, and positives and negatives, so that you can go back and I said something today. A lady said, oh yeah, we have this contract, but we're really scared to sign it because these people are going to stay post occupancy. They're going to close on it, and they need the money to start looking. And I said, oh, I just answered this for a realtor friend of ours, investor and realtor, who was helping his aunt, and they're like, they found out the situation of the financial situation of people selling it, or not only just needed the money, but there's some banks chasing them to get the house back. And I said, unless they have a big sum of money, they may not want to get out when they find out they can't get a loan. So
Right.
solution.
Just because it's a post occupancy
Yeah.
doesn't mean that they're not your tenant.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's, you if you wouldn't rent to them, then you don't want to give them a post occupancy.
Yeah. So the solution that, our mutual friend and I came up with was, to get out of the sales proceeds, get a big chunk of money that makes it hurt. That if they don't move out on that day, they forfeit all of it.
Right.
And he's like, ding, 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 we have a winner.
Right.
Because even then, they couldn't trash the house with the amount of money they were pulling, keeping back. They could, couldn't do that much damage to the house. And it would hurt if they didn't get out on that day. So, and, was able to provide that to a group of investors, and 2 or 3 people came up and said, man, that was amazing. Glad you said that. I would have never thought of that.
Right.
So, and so it's staying on our toes,
It is.
Keeping our sword sharp, iron sharpens iron. So, but yeah, thanks. So what you got going on this weekend?
Well, you know what?
Let me jump. You want to jump into the house first?
Right? I do. I want to say what I have going on this weekend is we have a listing of it's just the cutest little place. I love this. And I was telling my daughter, I think maybe it's time I got a new place. But this is on Florimar. It's in Gulf Harbors. It's a 1-bedroom, 1-bath. The address is, what is the address there? 4939 Florimar Terrace. And it's got those gorgeous views. Look at that house. It's got water views. It's 175. This is
great.
Such a fantastic. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
And this could be used as, your second home. You could use it as, just a place to go and come visit down here, or it's a great building. It's right on, it's on Florimar Terrace. So it's very conveniently located, beautiful views, and give us a call. This is definitely one that won't last very long. And
so this is a viewer of What's Upper Pinellas' house.
That's exactly
Viewer.
Right. It's a viewer.
We thank her, and it's a friend of mine from back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And they rehabbed this.
They did a beautiful job. It's stunning. It's a stunning unit, and it's a great little place. And again, I'm thinking, that looks like it'd be great for me. Do you know? I heard that being near the water, having a water view, it's like psychological, not just psychologically, but physiologically
healing.
It is.
Why do you think we lived out there so long?
It's actually scientifically proven. So do yourself a favor, buy this condo,
and make yourself feel better.
Yes, that's right. So
yes, that is the lesson.
I think I might need to go view it today because I could use that calming. But yeah, so that's that I wanted to share that, and I wanted to also thank our viewer for reaching out to us from this show.
Giving us the opportunity, right?
Absolutely.
So thank you. And then
we have something coming up next week rather.
We do.
We are reviving our investor mastermind. Now, this is not quite the same investor group that Brian goes to every Thursday. That's a massive. This is much more of a mastermind where we get together with investors, vendors that might help us, agents, whatever. We get together and we talk about opportunities that we have, just kind of network. And we're meeting again on Tuesday, March 11th at 11 o'clock at Urban Roots down in Tarpon. We're going to have have coffee or you can grab a lunch or something like that. It's at 121 Tarpon Avenue. And it's the new Urban Roots, which is a really great place. I just love that place.
So I have not been there yet, but it is the cousin or sister of Urban Grounds where we normally used to meet for coffee.
Right.
And it's catty corner towards the water. So moving away from Pinellas Trail a little bit, like 3 doors, 4 doors, closer to the bayou on the opposite side of the street. And so it's in the kind of commingled with Cohatch, right?
The co-working space.
Co-working space. and I'm looking forward to it. I've heard that food is excellent, and it's a neat looking.
It's a nice location. They have great food, and nice people. It's very comfortable place. Yeah, so it's gonna be fun. So come by, stop by and see us.
Yeah. And so just kind of touch on that. There's been a lot of deals done at that table, at the coffee table, with people coming in the first time, people coming in second, third, fourth time, and just learning. So it's a really good atmosphere. You have an investor, you have a mortgage person, you have a licensed realtor right there at the table to ask questions, and it's a no dumb questions type environment, because it's an opportunity to learn at the speed of whatever questions you have. And so we've had contractors and all kinds of different people, roofers and guy that owned a flip business, like a nationwide franchise, so we've had all kinds of different people come in. Everyone's welcome, and love to have you join us this Tuesday on the 11th.
And even if you're not an investor and you're just in the neighborhood, you can pop in and say hi.
Say hi.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
One of the best meetings we had was your pastor jumping in and goes, I heard a bunch of noise over here.
He'll probably pop in too. Again. So.
Yeah, Cody's a good guy.
Mm-hmm.
Cody's a good guy. And then what do you got going on this weekend?
Also this weekend, my favorite, spot, Tarpon Springs. We have the Tarpon Springs Fine Arts Festival, and that's in Craig Park, down on the bayou. I think this is I think it is a juried show. I'm not quite sure about that, but it's Saturday and Sunday. All kinds of artists displaying things. There's a couple of vendors, crafts people. So that's where I'm going. I'm headed.
Juried show.
Juried show, meaning that they judge the best pieces of art. So some art festivals are just there for enjoyment or to sell the art, and some are to get So
this is the fine arts.
Fine arts.
Mm-hmm. Yep. My sister used to present there before she moved up to Williston.
Where's Williston?
If you go to Crystal River and kind of head east towards Gainesville, it's halfway between those two.
Oh.
And it's farm country between those two.
So she is a fine artist. Does she? She's got a lot of different medium, right? She does pottery as well as painting.
Yeah, anything from pencil, pen and ink, painting. And she refinishes furniture. She'll find it on the street, refinish it, and sell it. And she's
so who I want to be.
Yeah, she's super creative, and to the point that when they bought acreage. She erected a, for lack of a better word, a warehouse, and it's her workshop.
Studio workshop.
Mm-hmm. She has saws and tables to do major stuff around the farm that they have, but she has her own kiln, so she does. Is it Reiku?
You know how they do that? They I believe they put other things in the kiln. So like hay and stuff like that, so that lights on fire and it burns, and it makes a lot of dimension in the pottery itself.
But she does. She'll get bored. She'll get really good at something. She'll get bored with it, and just so it'll be like
a Renaissance.
She'll she'll have a shelf of that, and then she'll do something else, and she'll have a wall of that. But she's very, very talented. So yeah.
Wow, I love that.
Yep. So I'm supposed to get together with Chris on Saturday morning, do a little stone crabbing.
So you were out this week or last week?
Last week.
I don't even know what day it is.
Yeah,
last week you were out stone crabbing. How did that go?
Good. I got 20 claws, and which is, okay. It's not
okay.
It's not
I was just going to ask, what's a big haul?
Still a little close. We've gotten as many as like 69. But that was when Chris's friend, former Marine and Chris's friend, I met him through Chris. Pete was doing it with us. We got like 69, out of like 20 traps.
Okay.
So that's up three to four per trap, and so in the winter a little bit slower. But when I went to get pig's feet, the place where you get the pig's feet, Yeah, that's the bait we use. Pig's feet.
Oh my God. Did I hear that right?
Pig's feet. Yeah. And so he's like, how you doing this year? And I go, oh, we're okay. It's been too cold for me to get out as much as I want to, but yeah, we're doing all right. He's like, we just pulled 900 traps and only got 69 pounds and that's,
Wow.
not very much.
Wow.
And so we're fortunate that when we go out there, we have, can feed one family or the other or both. And so we kind of switch off or split them up.
Wow.
But it's just fun getting out there. We spent like an hour trying to get somebody else's trap that the buoy got cut off. And it was like filled 3/4 of the way with sand because it had been out there so long with the hurricanes, trying to get it off the bottom so that fish and stuff don't get trapped in there. And then, clean it off. If you can read the nameplate of who it was, you can return it or tell them, hey, leave it at the gate over at Sunset Beach or whatever. But this thing was a wreck. But we got it off the bottom. We spent an hour doing that. Both of us were tired and sore. But it's just it's typical Tom Sawyer Huck Finn type of enjoyment. And then so we took those stone crabs to we were invited to a what do they call that, low country boil.
Oh.
And so Lori made stone crab macaroni and cheese.
Oh my gosh.
It was phenomenal.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So I'm actually in my little house that I live in.
Yep.
I'm having a deck put in.
Okay.
So once that gets done, I'll have to have you guys over and you can bring some
stone crab macaroni and cheese. Yeah, it's phenomenal. She did it all from scratch. So no boxes were involved.
Well, of course not. Of course not.
No pre-mixes.
She's amazing. She's amazing. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's great.
Yep. So, and then I think Zach and I are going to work on some irrigation system. So, yeah, get that all. That's the weekend.
Yep.
That's our weekend anyway.
All right. Well, I think it's going to be more great weather. I had a surprise visit. I think I told you last. No, I don't even know what day we're at.
We weren't here last week.
Had a surprise visit from my youngest daughter.
Really?
To visit
Nice.
for a couple of days, and then this past week, my oldest daughter was in Orlando for a conference.
Wow.
So I drove out there and had dinner.
Let's see both of them.
Yes,
in a week's period?
Yeah. So,
but not at the same time. Not both.
Not together. Time. They're together now. They're all.
They're
together in California now. So.
Nice.
I don't get invited to those things, but that's okay as long as we're all having fun.
Why not?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. You don't have to go there. Just kidding.
Oh boy, but yeah. So that's it. So we should have a good weekend this weekend, and
I just remembered a video I sent my family. Can't talk about it.
Okay.
No, it's a funny video of a dog got in trouble at doggy daycare.
Okay.
And I said, yeah, we got a call like this on my oldest first day of school. We got someone call this. I haven't seen any responses yet because they're gonna be off the hook. That's
it's just when your kids are adults and they have their own kids, right? It's just the best.
Yeah.
It's just too funny.
Yep.
The stories that go back and forth. I love it.
Yep. And all the secrets, all the things you thought they were doing, they were doing like 5 times worse than that.
I never wanted to know the secrets. I remember when the kids went off to college, I was like, that's good because I don't want to know what they're doing.
Laura and I went on a cruise when the older two were in college, and the younger one stayed with her sister, and he was elementary schoolish. And we get home, and not one neighbor, all the surrounding neighbors like met us in the driveway. They're like, you won't believe what your kids are doing.
Oh my God.
All the windows in our house slid up, and they took the screens out, and they opened all the windows in the house, and they were playing airsoft in the house, but they were diving out the windows to get away from each other. And we got home, and there was like a layer of airsoft pellets throughout the whole house.
Oh my gosh. How did we survive?
How
did we make it?
How did they survive? So anyway, but yeah, it's harmless fun.
That's
you know.
right. Well,
Yeah.
now you got them putting in irrigation systems. With you.
Yeah.
That's
So yeah, this is the younger one. They tease the younger one didn't have to do any of the weed pulling and chores that they had to do. So you're gonna make up for it this weekend. So
sorry, Zach.
yeah, sorry, Zach. Yep. So anyway,
Well, that sounds like a good weekend. We are we have no open houses this weekend. Actually, we're selling our houses, so
that's a good
it's
sign.
always a good sign.
That's a
and
good sign.
So give us a call if you've got something you want to get on the market, or if you know of some great properties you want us to highlight, please let us know.
Yep. You need to look at something, need to get pre-approved, want to list something, feel free to reach out to us, and love to help you. And with that said, my phone is like blowing up
I
over
see
here.
that.
So we're going to call it a day.
It's a busy
And
day.
thanks for joining us.
Thanks.
And
Have a great week.
We'll catch you next week.